interest in making it to the semi-finals. It really would throw the group wide open if they were able to get that victory. These two sides have met twice in the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup finals, 2013 and 2015. Paraguay have only ever played in 3 FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup finals, 13, 15 and the most recent one in 2017. In 2013 they came up against Russia in the group stages. Russia on the way to retaining their world title there, and they won 4-3 in that match. It was a close one, actually went to extra time. Dmitry Shishin, who's not here at the moment through injury, scoring the winner for Russia in added time. Well, here's an opportunity for Caballo. Sets himself for the overhead. It comes off Makarov's back. Header back into the business area from Luis Ojeda. And now he's racing forward. One of the goal scorers yesterday. Oh, it's over the top from Caballo. He was the other goal scorer yesterday for Paraguay, and perhaps he should have done better there. Hooked into touch by Nikolai Krishanov, number 11.
How's the food doing?
So these two sides meeting in 2013 in the World Cup, and they did it again in 2015 in Espino in Portugal. Russia again emerging as winners. 7-5 on that occasion. Oh, it's in, that's over the line, surely. Oh, it's not given. The referee was right on the spot. That looked to me as though it was in from my commentary position, high above that goal. And at the other end, Krasheninnikov. Makarov fashions a chance, scuffs his shot, and then commits a foul. I'd certainly like to see that incident at the other end again, though. I was convinced the whole ball was across the line. There's no marking, of course. There's no point in some whitewash there because it would get kicked away. Benjamin Moscow, the man going down under challenge from Makarov, and there's no point in having some tape across the line either because players would trip over it. But I was absolutely convinced that the whole of the ball was across the line. The referee, who was in a pretty good spot on that far side, decided it wasn't. Drama already then. Mentioned that game in 2015. Kirill Romanov got 2 goals, Dmitry Shishin got 3, Skarin and Ilya Leonev got the other goal for Russia. And the goals for Paraguay in that 7-5 defeat a couple of years ago. There was a hat-trick for Pedro Moran, who, as I've mentioned earlier, not here. Caballo dispossessed by Paparotny.
Okay, where are my players at? Here I come. I need 3 people.
Shot just wide from Gustavo Benitez. Paraguay are asking all the questions early on, aren't they? Here was that incident. Now, did it go across the line? It looked to me as though it did. Makarov hooked it away. Difficult to tell from that angle, but I have to say from my position, high above that goal, above the corner flag, just to the left of the screen as you look there, certainly looked to me as though the whole ball had crossed the line. The referee had a long look at it and said no. It's come off Caballo's back. Relief for Maxim Shishkov in the Russian goal that didn't deflect goalwards. Paparotny. Konarov with his first touch of the match. Konarov again, 2 goals yesterday. Attempts the overhead, and that's going to be a free kick. Once a player's in control of the ball and about to effect an overhead, the defenders can't touch him. And Luis Ojeda was deemed to be guilty of doing exactly that. He's not happy with the decision. Paraguay aren't happy with the decision, but it's gone against them. And so Nikonarov, the 28-year-old who plays his beach soccer for the 2007 Russian League champions Lokomotiv Moscow, has the opportunity to score his 3rd goal of the tournament. 2 yesterday against Mexico. Made his international debut last year. Oh, and he's side-footed that one wide, tried to pass it into the corner of the net. Didn't succeed. Got 6 goals here 12 months ago, Nikonarov.
Just go straight all the way.
Moscow policed by Kirill Romanov. Ojeda, he was looking for the overhead, didn't get it, and Romanov now. Of all the overseas teams, 7 of them of course in this 8-team event, along with the hosts, the UAE. Russia arrived earliest, played 1 warm-up match against the hosts, which they won 6-2. They arrived a week ago today on the 25th, so plenty of preparation time. This is a tournament the Russians take very, very seriously indeed. It's been their own personal plaything for much of the time. 3 out of the 6 previous editions have been won by them. Orlando Gonzalez being lectured by the match official. Mentioned this tournament is Russia's personal plaything, really. There's only been one occasion where they haven't actually reached the final. That was last year. They were thrashed by Brazil in the semi-final, 7-0, and they ended up finishing 3rd, beating Tahiti in the 3rd and 4th place playoff. Other than that, they've always been in the final. In order to get to that final, you would think they'd want to win here today, because if they do, it would enhance their chances of avoiding Brazil in the semi-final. And everyone wants to avoid Brazil at the moment, I can promise you that. Russia in particular, because Russia were beaten 7-0 by Brazil in the semi-final 12 months ago. Kirill Romanov has been penalised for his challenge on Gustavo Benitez. Now Romanov is remonstrating and saying, well, Benitez went low with his head rather than Romanov going high with his foot. Referee having none of it though. So a free kick to Paraguay. Benitez will take it. A veteran at 36, made his debut back in 2008. A goal against Panama in this year's FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup, but not with shooting like that. On this near side, Paparotny.
If you like the song, raise your hands up. And maybe I would want you to play
5 minutes gone in this first period, no goals as yet. Skarin goes back to his keeper, Maxim Shushkov. Shushkov had picked the ball up. He had 4 seconds to get rid of it or get the ball out of his hands, out of the area. He just about managed to do that. Nikonarov, the overhead blocked by Moscow's back. Benjamin Moscow doing a fine job defensively for his country at the... Jesus Rolon, I should say. Doing a fine job for his country defensively at the moment. Carlos Caballo indicating he got a kick to the side of the head there. Caballo will get the free kick. Just been ahead of myself actually. I've just realised I've been calling the number 5 for Paraguay, Benjamin Moscow. Of course, that's the next game. He plays for Mexico. It's easy to get carried away when you're seeing match after match, back-to-back matches. That's what you get in beach soccer. It's like a conveyor belt. It's a conveyor belt of action as well. is Rolon on that far side. Jesus Rolon, number 5 for Paraguay. Oh, shot from Rolando Gonzalez. In the end, smothered by Shushkov, and at the other end, the overhead from Nikonarov, just over the crossbar. Awkward for Shushkov on the half volley, deals with it adequately. Over halfway through this first period then. Skarin, did he keep that in? No, according to the official on that far side. Kick in now for Benitez. In fact, it was Edgo Barreto on that far side. Players allowed to throw the ball in or kick it in. Music just being shut off briefly ahead of a call to prayer. Russia, the reigning European champions, didn't have the greatest season in Europe, but they won when it counted. Good run that by Makarov. Not quite the end product that was required though. Alexei Makarov, 20 goals in this tournament over the years, and chasing an opportunity to join Yuri Krashenikov and Ali Karim of the UAE as a scorer in all 7 editions that have been played so far. Russia not at their best in Europe this summer. 2 regular season stages in the Euro Beach Soccer League that they played in. They finished 3rd in the first of those stages in the 4-team group. They beat France 4-2, they beat Germany 3-2, but then lost 3-1 to Spain. And then in their home stage in Moscow, they beat Greece 9-0, Belarus 3-2, and Switzerland 7-4. Qualified for the super final in 5th place. The top 8 sides in Europe reached the super final, and then they did enough to get through to the final of that event, winning 4-1 against Belarus, 4-3 against Ukraine, and 4-2 against Italy. Good work from Shushkov in the end after an initial mistake, smothering the effort from Edgo Barreto. In the final of the Euro Beach Soccer League, the super final event in Terracina in Italy, Russia came up against Portugal, who up to that point had played 6-1-6, but it was Russia's day and they won 3-1. Yuri Krashenikov and 2 goals for Arthur Paparotny. 5th title for Russia, that, drawing them level with Spain and Portugal. Russia also played in the Mundialito this year. That's pushed over the top by Gonzalez from his opposite number, Shushkov. Perhaps the strongest Mundialito there's ever been. Brazil, Portugal, Russia and France, an annual 4-team tournament taking place in Portugal. Romanov's kept that in. Russia lost 9-4 to Brazil, 3-1 to Portugal, but then on the final day they beat France 5-2 to end up in 3rd place. Improvised save from Shushkov, and then a punch, does well. It was awkward for him with the ball bouncing just in front of him. Spectacular from Rolon, headed away by Paparotny. Less than 90 seconds to go in this first period. Sergio Villaverde is down, and the complaint is that he's been manhandled by Nikolai Krishanov. Well, I think he's made a bit more of that than he'd actually deserved, if truth be told. of them in the crowd. They haven't had a lot to cheer about so far. 30 seconds to go then. 3 periods each of 12 minutes in beach. Konarov with a shot on the turn, but that's the last action of period number 1 in the penultimate match on day 2. And we're goalless. Russia and Paraguay. Russia looking to add to their victory of yesterday when they won 5-2 against Mexico. Paraguay looking to bounce back, 6-2 rather against Mexico. Paraguay looking to bounce back after losing 5-2 to Iran. And at the moment, the two sides cancelling each other out. Russia 0, Paraguay 0.
So they got a first line of ball at a count.
Let's have a look at some highlights, and there haven't been too many, if truth be told.
And you spin 15 times. 15. Hamstash. Okay? I don't know, in Austria.
That should have been converted, I rather fancy, by Caballo. And then that's perhaps the moment of greatest controversy in the first 12 minutes. Was that over the line? I thought it was. The referee, who was positioned on the far side, thought otherwise.
Ready? Bend over. Ready, set, and go.
A couple of saves for Shushkov, but that's more or less it, really. It's way off target from Makarov.
7, 8.
Likewise from Villaverde. 0-0 then, and we hope for better in the second period.
Kick the ball. Aywa. You were a little bit slow. Ahoy, Mabruk. Congratulations. Hey, all right. She made it, Giovanna. Muito obrigado. Anna, thank you very much. Congratulations. You won a Bluetooth speaker. What do you want to tell everyone?
شكرا يا شباب. شكرا.
All right, let's go. Are you sure you're happy? Really? You look sad, man. Chill. I'm gonna make you comfortable. From now on, we're best friends. All right, thank you. All right, Masalam. And that game is brought to us by Huawei. Thank you so much. The winner just took home a Bluetooth speaker, courtesy of Huawei.
About to get underway then in the second period, match 3 on day 2 of the Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup, and we're goalless so far. Russia, 3 times champions, up against Paraguay, making their debut in the competition, the 18th side to have played in this tournament over the course of its 7 editions, dating back to 2011. 0-0. You can tweet us using the hashtag Huawei Intercontinental Cup. As Gonzalez has a shot, which is dealt with by Shushkov. No change in either goalkeeper. Often you'll see when it's the end of a period, another goalkeeper is rotated on, but that's not been the case here. Benitez, and that's deflected off Makarov for a corner. Thumped in by Roland, but off target. Benitez polices that one back to his keeper. Makarov playing with a bandage on his left wrist. Hooked clear by Ojeda. So where are we going to get the first goal from in this match, I wonder? Not there, that was an unlucky bounce. Caballo looking for the overhead, blocked by Makarov's back and then sliced out by Benitez. Oh, flashing wide from Paparotny. Lowest scoring match we've had in the history of this tournament. Actually came in its first year, back in 2011. Brazil against the UAE, that was a semi-final. And that finished Brazil 2, UAE 0. It's 2 goals, real rarity. On average you get 8 goals a game in beach soccer. We actually exceeded that average yesterday with 39 goals in 4 matches, and that's a foul. Ojeda late on Alexei Pavlenko on the edge of his penalty area. A little bit of afters, and the referee taking exception to it, and rightly so. What can Pavlenko do then? He scored 1 against Mexico yesterday. Plays his beach soccer for Spartak Moscow. Not one of the fancied sides. The real big dogs in Russian beach soccer. Lokomotiv Moscow, who are the league champions for 2017, and Crystal of St. Petersburg, who won the Russian Cup. Russian league, one of the best in the world. Attracts a fair number of Brazilian players across there every year. Shushkov, oh, is that in? No, somehow it stayed out. Nikonarov with the flick header, he can't believe it has stayed out. The ball just rolled along the line. It hit the back in the end of Gonzalez. He didn't know where it had gone. Now, how on earth that didn't end up in the back of the net is beyond me. Gonzalez actually in the right place at the right time, deflected it onto the post, and it rolled along the goal line. It's the same goal that we saw the ball spinning on the line in the first period when Paraguay thought they'd scored. Gonzalez getting some water in the eyes, just to wash out some sand that he felt was there. This goal below us must be, below my commentary position, must be absolutely cursed at the moment, because that's 2 occasions where I couldn't honestly understand how the ball stayed out. But according to the officials, certainly on that first occasion it did, and clearly it stayed out on that second occasion as well. So we're still goalless, and in the end it's a free kick to Rolando Gonzalez. Thumps the ball forward, only as far as Kirill Romanov. Ojeda. Less said about that effort from Villaverde, the better. The last goal that Paraguay scored was in the last minute of the first period yesterday against Iran. So 5 minutes are up here in this second period against Russia, so they've now gone 41 minutes without a goal, which is very unusual in beach soccer. Nice dummy by Makarov, then the overhead, blocked by Rao, and then an appeal for a penalty by Paraguay with Shushkov's challenge on Ojeda. Nothing doing as far as the officials are concerned. Krasheninnikov trying to break forward. Oh, it's off the crossbar from Makarov, and then Krasheninnikov hits the post. Well, like I said, this goal must be cursed at our commentary box end. Somehow the ball is determined to stay out. So rattling the frame of the goal twice in a matter of seconds, Russia. And 3 times in this period all told. They still can't find the back of the net. Benitez just over the top from him. Still, Paraguay's wait for a goal goes on. It's very unusual, that length of time that I've mentioned, for a side not to score. But again, it illustrates the fact that they really are missing Pedro Moran. It's a real talismanic figure, and that's a free kick. Benitez bringing down Makarov. Makarov was looking for Benitez's leg, I think that's fair to say, but Benitez left it out there. So it's going to be a free kick to Alexei Makarov. Mikhail Likachev, a concerned man on the bench. He's always a nervous watcher. Lives every second of every game, as you'd expect. But more demonstrative than some coaches. Makarov plays his beach soccer with the Lokomotiv club in Moscow, the Russian League champions. 6 goals in last year's Intercontinental Cup. That's pushed away by Gonzalez. A good save. It was a low bobbling shot from Makarov, trying to bounce the ball over the diving goalkeeper. Didn't quite succeed. Skarin was taken over the Russian captaincy from Ilya Leonev. Spectacular effort from Pavlenko, but over the top. Both sides aware of the importance of this match. If Russia can get the victory, it'll set things up nicely for them for tomorrow's game against Iran. Paraguay get the victory, they're very much back in contention for a semi-final spot after yesterday's defeat. It's one of the reasons why things are so cagey at the moment. I mentioned earlier in this match that when the 2 sides have met in the FIFA Beach Soccer World Cup finals 2013 and 2015, not a lot to choose between them, and again you're seeing that here this evening. That's well done by Caballo. Good defensive work from the number 8. Russia, you can see at the bottom of your screen, getting ready to rotate on. Paparotny, happy to go back to Shushkov, just outside his area. Paparotny gets the shot in, and that just deflected off Villaverde. So that'll be a corner. Just 4 minutes to go in the second period. Romanov looks for the overhead. In the end, it's deflected off Krishanov. Didn't know a lot about it, if truth be told. Ball flashed at him at great speed. The header from Caballo, easily gathered by Shushkov. Less than 3.5 minutes to go in this second period. Hooked away by Krasheninnikov. after Roland's overhead. Caballo. Nice skill. The overhead blocked by the back of Paparotny. Barreto absolutely convinced he was pushed in the back by Krishanov, not given. Romanov may have got a little flick on that, but in the end Gonzalez did enough to prevent the ball heading goalwards. Well, it's stalemate at the moment, isn't it? Not a lot being created at either end. Russia have come closest to scoring in this second period, hitting the frame of the goal on 3 occasions. Good tidying up from Roland. Oh, good skill from Ojeda. Good defensive work from Romanov, and then it's over the top. Villaverde will feel he should have hit the target. At the other end, Krasheninnikov. Good save at his near post from Gonzalez. That's beach soccer in a nutshell. Chances at both ends in quick succession. And then the corner's headed away by Roland. Skarin on the near side. Makarov, the overhead from him, that's over the top and wide. Must have just deflected off Villaverde because it's going to be a corner. A minute to go in this second period. Oh, Nikonarov had got free and he scored! The deadlock broken at last, and what a celebration from Nikonarov. Skarin's corner, Nikonarov made the run to the near post. He had 2 bites of the cherry, and the second bite was a decisive one. Boris Nikonarov, his 3rd goal of this Huawei Beach Soccer Intercontinental Cup 2017. Hooking the ball in with his left foot. Didn't he enjoy that? His teammates did as well. What a celebration. There was the first effort. It was blocked. It wasn't a particularly venomous shot, if truth be told. He got a second chance and he took it. Jumping for joy. Russia hit the front. Restart from Roland, just over the top, over the angle of post and crossbar. I think that restart is going to have to be retaken, actually. Encroachment by the Russians. Have to be 5 meters back. The defensive line. Referee's still insisting they're not back quite far enough. Ojeda. Roland trying to get some space up against Skarin. Shishkov does well to get away from Barreto. Roland trying to pass the ball goalwards. Is there time for Paraguay to get on the score sheet and level matters up? Lovely skill from Gonzalez. What's the end product? Finds Roland. Half cleared by Pavlenko. 10 seconds remaining in this second period. Ojeda. got to have a shot here, Roland. He does so. But in the end, it's cleared by Paparotny. And so Russia hold the narrowest of advantages going into the third and final period of this penultimate match on day 2, thanks to Boris Nikonarov. His goal, with a minute to go in period number 2, broke the deadlock. Paraguay, though, have now gone 4 successive periods without finding the back of the net. That will frustrate them. And at the moment, it's Russia 1, Paraguay 0. Let's have a look at some highlights from the second period. Bit of a chess match, really. Both sides cancelling each other out. Tactical battle. Not an awful lot of goal-mouth excitement, although Russia did hit the frame of the goal on 3 occasions. That was one of them, a little flick header from Nikonarov, which hit the post and then ran across the line. Romanov with the overhead, which Krishanov couldn't quite get on target. Good save from Gonzalez at his near post. And there's the goal that separates the teams. Nikonarov sweeping the ball in at the second time of asking after his first shot was blocked. Third goal for him in the tournament, and what a way to celebrate. He enjoyed it, so did his teammates, and that's the goal that separates the teams, much to the pleasure of the Russian fans who've made their way here to Marassi Business Bay. Russia 1, Paraguay 0.
Thank you very much. Let us get up once again, Huawei dancers. Coming up, third and final period.
What you're seeing there is a decision on who kicks us off in the third and final period and who plays in which direction. Odd number of periods in beach soccer, so ahead of the third period we always have to have the toss of a coin once again, as we do before the first period, to decide who gets the honour of starting proceedings in this third and final period of normal time. It's going to be Russia who will have that honour, and they're going to be playing from left to right on your screens. The red strip with white trim. Off we go. Russia leading by 1-0, thanks to Boris Nikonarov, and a good save at his near post from Gonzalez, from Krasheninnikov, who will take the corner that result. Scored a goal in the World Cup qualifier earlier this year. Benitez plays his beach soccer with Club AA. One of 4 players in this 11-man squad who do that. The Russians not happy with some of the decisions that are going against them at the moment. Ojeda just about keeps that in, and the overhead is simply dealt with by Shishkov. 2 strong fists. Very good run from Barreto, but the throw from Ojeda can't quite find him. And a good sliding tackle from Benitez, the captain. Shanov rides one challenge but not the second, and in fact the ball came off him before it went into touch. Caballo turning away from Romanov, but not sufficiently to allow him to retain possession. "50 minutes now since the last goal for Paraguay. 4 successive periods without a goal, plus this one. It's a push in the back by Makarov. The referee thinking Makarov was about to tread on Benitez. Benitez going down, and Makarov absolutely convinced that was a dive. Looking at that, you can't disagree with it, really. Did a bit of contact maybe, but nothing you would have thought to produce that result from Benitez, but he gets the free kick anyway, and it's just fractionally inside the Paraguay half, so it means the players can be goal side of the ball. Can Benitez work the oracle here for Paraguay and produce a goal at long last for them? Well struck, but well off target as well.
Now in minutes and 35, score is 1-0.
Konarov across the face of goal. Attempted flick header from Caballo. He actually got too good a contact on it. It needed just a glance, and it was in the back of the net. He got too much head on the ball and sent it over the top. They're solid at the moment, Paraguay, defending well, as indeed they did for large parts of yesterday's match against Iran, but they just lack that little bit of a cutting edge at the other end of the pitch. That's the problem they've got at the moment in the absence of Pedro Moran. Just kept in by Paparotny. Skalin, Russian captain. Caballo, was there hands? Yes, there was, according to the official on this near side. Just using his hand to control the ball. So a free kick to Russia, 3 or 4 meters outside their penalty area. Arthur Paparotny will take it. Paparotny, who plays his beach soccer with the Crystal Club. It's his hometown club, was actually born in St. Petersburg. 4 goals in last year's Intercontinental Cup. That's off target. Tackles flying in, Krasheninnikov in the mix, as invariably he is. Villaverde was there as well, the number 11. He opts for the kick in. Hooked away by Krashanov. 7.5 minutes remaining. Krashanov then with the defensive header. He's gone down, having put the ball into touch. Not sure what the problem is here. Just saying he needs to be rotated off.
Any fans from Paraguay? Paraguay fans. Okay, there we go. We got a couple.
Certainly a shot that was struck very firmly.
And
Gonzalez slicing off the outside of his right foot and well wide of the target.
We got a couple of good person this evening.
Krashanov is very quickly back on the sand. Accused me of being a bit cynical here, but just wonder if he went down and was rotated off purely as a little tactical move on his part. Oh, goodness me! That's in! Does that count? No, it doesn't. Well, the Russians weren't sure. I wasn't sure either. And the officials are going to get together now. It was thrown in by Romanov. Is it a goal? What have they decided? Well, certainly a goalkeeper isn't allowed to throw the ball into the opposition net with nobody touching it. But I have to say, I thought that would have been an own goal, but nobody did touch it. And so it didn't count. Clearly the players weren't aware of the rule. I seem to remember an incident very similar to that in 11-a-side football a few years ago, and the ball did actually touch the goalkeeper, and that's why it counted. But the decision was that Shushkov didn't get a touch on it, so no goal was given. Real heart in the mouth stuff for Russia, though. That had to come off the hand, surely, of Bonifacio Rao. It wasn't picked up. Nikonarov drags that across the face of goal. It just shaved the upright, stayed out. Just about 5.5 minutes to go. Krasheninnikov. Skarin's fallen over but retains possession. Pavlenko out-jumped. The ball is Russia's. Frustration on the sidelines for Guga, the Paraguay coach. His side have certainly given him everything, but they just haven't had an end product today. And that was true for much of yesterday's match against Iran as well. They only arrived very early on Sunday morning. Straight away played a warm-up game that evening against the UAE, which they lost 5-4. It's never easy for sides from the Americas to come here, particularly if they come in at the 11th hour to adjust very quickly to the different time zone. Well, that had to hit the hand, surely. Yes, it's given. Handball. Ojeda, well, they missed that earlier handball against Rao, but they didn't miss that one. Hand was outstretched, the ball struck it, and so a free kick to Russia. And away from the body, so quite clearly the correct decision. Keep your tweets coming in, incidentally. Hashtag Huawei Intercontinental Cup, all one word, Huawei Intercontinental Cup. We've had tweets from all around the world. Good to hear from you as well. Give us a shout and we'll give you a shout. Let us know what you think. How are you watching? Are you watching online at beachsoccer.com? Maybe at live stream? Or are you watching one of the numerous broadcasters that takes this coverage around the world? Krasheninnikov then with a free kick. About 11 metres out on the angle with his right foot, tries to sweep the ball in. And, gets it wide of the upright. Just wide of the target.
Now we got a player down.
Player down. It's
One
one of the Russians, PARAGUAY. There's been no real flow to this match at all, has there? Tackle from Ojeda.
The one and only world famous.
Corner to Paraguay, headed clear by Makarov. Less than 3 minutes remaining. Easy enough for Shushkov. Bread and butter stuff for him. Oh, and a free kick has gone against Russia for Makarov's challenge there. The Russians can't believe it. Shushkov, Romanov and Makarov all remonstrating with the official. Let's have a look here. Little push in the back according to the official. Something and nothing really. And then a bit of afters as well from Alexei Makarov. But what a good opportunity this is for Paraguay to get on the board. Just 2.5 minutes remaining. There's some information that's come out from Paparotny. He's just run over to speak to Shushkov, perhaps suggesting which way Edgar Barreto is going to put this ball. He's only just fractionally outside the penalty area, so it's almost a penalty really. The only difference is that because it's a free kick, Shushkov can come off his line and narrow the angle. That's what he's done. So Barreto against Shushkov from about 11 metres out in a central position. Paraguay need this goal. They desperately need it. And good save from Shushkov. It was drilled in low. And then Barreto concedes the free kick. The referee appeared to indicate that the free kick was conceded, but what's happened here now? No, it's going to be retaken. No, was the indication that there was some encroachment there, perhaps? Let's have another look. No, this isn't going to tell us anything, that particular replay. We need to see the moment that the ball was struck. The Russians are protesting. Shushkov's been booked, so clearly, I think, it's encroachment. Oh, and there's tempers frayed while you're watching Guga. Shushkov has been booked. Paparotny and one of the Paraguay players, handbags at dawn. They were pushing each other. Shushkov absolutely furious. He's got a yellow card for his trouble, so he needs to be careful about arguing any further. Yes, the way the referee is acting, it was encroachment. He was beyond the 5-meter mark from the ball. And the referee saying Makarov is too close to the action. He needs to get back as well. So take two. Is Barreto going to go for the same policy? Low and hard. He scores! And Shushkov, absolutely furious, runs to the official. But Paraguay finally on the board. Long, long time after their last goal. 58 minutes, in fact, between drinks as far as Paraguay are concerned. He didn't go low for power this time, Barreto. He went high into the roof of the net. Shushkov dived, and Shushkov absolutely furious. 1-1, we're all locked up with 2.5 minutes remaining. The Russians have a huge sense of grievance here. Reminder, if we're level at the end of this third and final period, we'll go to extra time, 3 minutes. But whoever wins, if they win in extra time, only gets 2 points. And how significant might that be in the final analysis in terms of sorting out a semi-final place? 3 points for a win in normal time, 1 point for a win on penalties. Makarov, tackled by Ojeda. Ojeda goes down. What's he given? The referee a free kick to Paraguay. Tempers really are frayed out there at the moment. Makarov not happy. Everyone needs to calm down, but that's easier said than done in this situation. With 3 points on the line and the match in its dying embers. Reminder, when this match is concluded, whenever that may be, we've got Iran against Mexico for you. Final match of the day. Also in Group B, this is a Group B contest. Earlier we had the UAE 3, Egypt 4 and Brazil 4, Portugal 1 in Group A. Ojeda, way off target from him. Romanov not able to bring that under control. 58 minutes then between goals for Paraguay, scoring the last minute of the first period yesterday against Iran and the 34th minute of the third period against Russia. Oh, it's in, yes! Paparotny! Great distribution from Shushkov, and Paparotny latched onto it with a glancing header, and Paraguay, having fought so hard to get back on terms, now are behind once more with less than 90 seconds remaining. Paparotny, a little celebration as he ran back to his position in the face of the Paraguay players. Gonzalez just caught out by that glancing header, but great distribution from Shushkov. Nobody picked up the lanky Paparotny, and he found the back of the net. Didn't he enjoy it as well? Oh, and Shushkov makes the save from Roland's overhead. He was unsighted there, so that was a good stave. Can Paraguay lift themselves once more titanic effort if they could. Less than a minute to go. Russia pulled this one out of the fire. Good tackle from Romanov. The overhead from Carballo. This is Russia's 32nd match in the history of the Intercontinental Cup. Only once have they been involved in a match involving just 3 goals. That was against Brazil in 2014 when they won 2-1 in extra time. It's in the last 5 seconds now. O'Hare. And time has run out for Paraguay. Their players go down absolutely devastated. They fought so hard, they fought back so well. They got the equaliser with 2 minutes remaining, and then they were denied right at the death by that man, Arthur Paparotny, with a glancing header with just 82 seconds remaining. Deep breath there from Mikhail Likachev. It's a win, and that's all that counts. Paparotny's goal supplemented by Boris Nikonorov at the end of the second period. A really hard-fought victory for the 3 times champions. Heartbreak for Paraguay, played 2, lost 2 for them, and just 3 goals to show for their efforts in the 2 matches thus far. Krasheninnikov trying to communicate with the match officials, making his point. Shishkov unhappy as well. But all's well that ends well as far as Russia are concerned. They've got the victory. Their fans are ecstatic.